Hi everyone, you're watching Jana FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. But first of all, let me introduce the sponsor of this video, simplefx.com, which offers Forex and cryptocurrency CFDs trading. You can see this site right now on my screen, and the links to simplefx.com you can find in the description under this video. Okay, so and starting with euro-dollar as usual. Unfortunately, I didn't have a video previous week. I can't really trade at this moment. I have a lot of things going on, but we'll see what's going to happen this week. So well, this is the weekly chart, euro-dollar, and obviously right now you can see that we are in pattern head and shoulders. So and the market dropped down, and do you see this little level? This is important one, and right now I would expect a little bit consolidation maybe around this area, that level. This is where I would have been looking at possible finally correction, right? Because we see it dropped, no correction at all, and of course if it is head and shoulders, then creating a possible shoulder. Okay, so that's why I would have expected now a correction. But just like I'm saying, no matter what, I would wait for some consolidation around this area, and of course it can also still continue way down, just like it had previously here. Okay, and but the first thought would be, of course, to go up. So now you can see I moved a little bit this level, so that's why I'm trying to show you the bigger pattern. Remember, I had a bigger chart. I had previously something like that, so just a little bit. I'm not going to correct right now. If you watch the previous videos, you know I use these two tops, and a little bit it was a little bit more narrow after it broke, right? When we were still here, was expecting as a head and shoulders, so it's broke, and now I'm moving it a little bit more down. Okay, so I'm gonna try to tell you that I'm not going to use it as much. It's not as good as it was previously, because I need another bottom here. Right now I'm just using this first bottom, okay, and I'm using these two tops. So that level is kind of pretty much is just roughly. After it will create a bottom here, then I would be able to correct it a little bit more. So that's why I'm just going to leave it as it is, just using these two tops and just a little bit of that bottom. At this point, it's not really important, this level. I'm still going to have it as an uptrend just in case, because you do know that the head and shoulders might turn into a three-wave movement, right? We have one move, then we have second, and it can possibly be the third one up. Okay, so but at this moment, yes, looking at it as a head and shoulders and as expectation of correction and creating the shoulder, because as a third wave I would be only talking when it will get closer to this level and we'll be trying to break it. Okay, then I would be expecting as a possible a third wave, but this we're talking about months, weeks ahead. This is just a main picture right now, because as we have a breakout and remember when I was telling you of expectation of consolidation for a while here as creating a bigger head because of the bigger shoulder, this is exactly what happened, right? Remember if you watch the video. So that's why at this moment now I would be waiting a little bit here. I mean, of course, it can jump, but I would still more expecting it slowing down a little bit and then give us a possible shoulder. And then who knows? And then I would be using this level, okay, just in case if it will not be a shoulder, right? So maybe it will be sitting here and giving us a pennant, like a little triangle or pennant, and then, of course, either breaking it, so it would be like as a shoulder, the breaking point to go down, or as a possible go up, then using this level. So this is just talking a little bit ahead, looking at the main picture, as we do have a big movement now. Okay, after big consolidation here, the final big movement happened, and this is what I would be expecting now. Okay, so a little bit of slowing down and a possible correction or having a shoulder. So you see on the smaller chart, that's what I'm saying right now. It's like pretty much nothing. The good entry would have been here when it dropped, and then remember I was telling you previously I was expecting correction around here, just using the previous movements, but it did move down and then started to have a correction. So this is what I was talking about just a week earlier, but it happened a week later, and this could have been used as an entry point, because that would have been looking like a bearish flag. Okay, so because we had a drop, then expecting the correction, so it looked like it, and then breaking it, this would have been the entry point. So, okay, and at this moment there is nothing here as for me. Only waiting for a possible coming to this level a bit closer and do some consolidation. Of course, at the same time, it might not go down here exactly, so maybe it will be consolidating around this area. Okay, so we have it a little bit slowing down, as you can see here, but nothing else for me, right? It's right now it's nothing else, so I just need a little bit more slowing down. And just like I'm saying, right now the market moves a little bit more, so the 15-minute chart I'm not using as often as I used to. Okay, like I'm saying, the market is always changing, that's why I need to always change. I mean, the strategies and patterns are still all the same. The difference you see a little bit now, I would rather to look at 30-minute charts, 1-hour charts. Okay, except like I'm saying, they would be a bit wider, the channels and patterns a bit bigger, so that's why if you're using stops, the stops will be bigger. But 15-minute chart for me right now, I don't see any possible to trade at this moment. So just a bit slightly bigger charts at this moment. So that's all with Eurodollar. Just waiting for some consolidation as for me, and placing the orders both directions, buy and sell, but more looking towards buy because of the correction. Okay, expecting a correction, but of course don't forget, as I'm not reminding you about the news. Okay, so wherever financial, economical, political news, just need to bear in mind of everything. So that's all with Eurodollar. Okay, so right now expecting as a pattern, head and shoulders, expecting a possible a bit better correction, but like I'm saying, it still might continue way down a little bit. Okay, it might, before it will start to create a second shoulder, so you never know. But that would be my thought about Eurodollar. So now going to pound dollar, and obviously we can see that 2 weeks are absolutely nothing. It's just sitting in consolidation, right? So it's also had a good move down, as previously we saw, right? Is one of the expected movement happened, and now I would, of course, you see I have this channel already, I would expect break it. Okay, so either going up or going down. This is a very big 4-hour chart, so for example for me, I wouldn't trade 4-hour chart. Okay, so like I'm saying, 30-minute, maybe 1 hour, but 4 hours is a little bit too much. As you can see on the smaller charts, there is nothing really, it's just going up down quite a lot. So for me, it's no good opportunity to get in until it will start to make a nice move or give something really nice. I mean, it's a really good big channel, but you see it's like breaking here, and as the way I'm trading it, it's not easy, because it can get me into like not very good trade. And you see, because it's like it's jump out from the channel and it's jump in again, jump out, jump in, and that's how it moves. So to be honest, right now, maybe, well, it's kind of, you see, slightly going down. You see, there's some, I like to use the bigger charts. You see how many wings, like as I'm saying, it's uncertainty in the market when the market doesn't, it's accumulate something in here, right? But can't make a decision which way to move, obviously. So in this situation, so as the problem is, because remember we had double top, which broke at the area, expected area, and it's dropped now down here, and it's got closer to the level, right? Remember this level previously, and that's why it's slowing down around here. So you see from here it may continue the way down, trying maybe to break these levels and actually go to the previous channel. Again, let's see the bigger, like you see the bigger picture you can see, but on the smaller chart it's really hard to decide what to do. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure what I will do, if I will touch it for now. You see, if it might break this, it's quite strong, because for a while it didn't break it at all. You see here, right, it's stuck, so it can break and possibly go to this level. You see now where it's come from, right, from these two bottoms. And at the same time, it might maybe possibly, you see I have these levels using, it looks like maybe it's a pennant, okay, like a little triangle or pennant here, so it could possibly jump from that channel, right, and then go up, and then maybe for some time, for again talking about weeks, it might sit between here, and then it will pick finally direction. Again, it will be depending on the news, right? So there are some news, if they're going to be, I mean, there will be, of course, but I mean like the strong news, which will make market to move somewhere. If there is nothing, I would expect maybe it will be sitting around here, because you see we had a big drop and then there is no correction again. So if you would be expecting a correction and possibly sitting in this area for a while, so it could possibly be at the same time, as remember a while ago when I was telling you when it's all was moving up, that on a bigger picture, it's also possible it could be a double bottom, right? So as I'm saying, this can continue way down. That's why I'm saying right now it's kind of stuck at that level, and there are no obvious news or anything which can move it. Okay, a possible direction. Can't choose a direction, but again, just as expected, pretty much a possibility because of the Brexit still. It can go down, but it's talking again weeks, not right now. So that's what I'm saying. On a smaller chart, I wouldn't risk it. I mean, it can possibly try to risk it, right? When it will be trying to break it, then go for either sell or buy. But as I'm saying, it's very wide. So for me personally, I probably will just wait a bit more, okay, to see what is it going to do. So but that's it. I mean, maybe if it will go down to this area, we'll give something smaller here, not as wide, okay, and maybe go to the next afterwards level. So if there is anything happens and then any slowing down between all of those levels, I will try to look for possibilities. But at this moment, that's just that very wide channel, okay, consolidation, which obviously at some point it has to break. And make a movement, but need to be really careful. You'll see in the other pair it's similar situation, and that's what I will be telling you what I'm worried about. It's similar situation on dollar CAD, but let's just go to dollar yen and also on a bigger chart and have a look what happened. Dollar yen is just continued all the way up. Remember, we were staying here, which I was telling you about when we were here. I was expecting a bit of movements between these two levels. I had some trade on buying here using that level, and remember, it was creating something looking like a head and shoulder first, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not always, you look at, it might be starting, but it's not always going to happen what you expect. But the levels were exactly correct, and the possible trades could be done here. So, and now we're continuing. You see again stopped by the next level. So just again, it's one of the expectation, a big head, a possible shoulder. Remember, I was warning you about it, so it did look like it could have been that. So, and now expecting to go to the next level, and possibly from here it might continue all the way to this area, right? Designated next levels, the trend level and horizontal levels. It could possibly do this. At the same time, it could have enough. Again, what the news will bring, okay, so we'll see. But all the same levels. So what now in here would just again for going for the smaller chart. So the bigger picture, you can see we have a bit of the head and shoulders. So as a possible continue go up to the next level, or as we didn't have a good correction for a while, so it could possibly turn around, okay, so it could be. But all the levels I would look exactly at the same levels, and here you can see I would just wait for any consolidation around this level, and then placing the orders again, both directions, either go up, buy or sell, going down, okay, so all depends what's going to be in the news. But all the levels are staying the same, so it's a little bit more clear with dollar yen. Now going to Australian dollar, bigger picture again. So Australian dollar had a good drop, right, and again all using the levels we had. Okay, so it stopped. Okay, let's do the weekly view. It would be better again to see right here. Okay, so where it stopped, exactly at the level, right? Because we had previously the bottoms, and it stopped again at the level. So unfortunately, I think on a smaller chart it didn't have any consolidation. Well, it's you see on the daily chart, that's it's starting to consolidate a little bit here. Okay, so but on the smaller chart, I don't think anything reasonable when you see when it's got to here. 4 hour, I mean, well, okay, smaller, maybe it did have a little bit of, no, you see, like, well, it did look like a little bit of head and shoulders, but let's just look at the bigger chart because it will be a bit better view. And you see it started to consolidate between the levels of the previous downtrend, okay, and the previous up big trend, right? So you see it's stuck between those two levels, which is again not unusual, because obviously market is now accumulating again before it's trying to decide which way to go. And in here, that bigger area, again, you can have a look. I would expect, and this is what's happening, is a possible like a pennant again, as you can see it. You see we had a big drop, no correction, okay, but smaller correction. touched the important level is expected and had a bit of correction, went down again, up again, and started to create this is the pennant. Okay, and even if the triangle, you can count, we have one bottom, one top, another second bottom, second top, and possibly it will go and give us the third bottom and then turn around and go up as expected, a bit of the correction of the big movement, or at the same time, of course, after consolidating, it can continue the way down to the next level. Okay, so that's how I would be looking at it. So as a bigger picture, I would wait to break these two levels, okay, the good breakout and go either up, or breaking this and go either down. And again, using exactly the same levels to see if it will be slowing down by any. But on a smaller picture, there is also a possibility, because you see it started to consolidate a little bit around the one of the main levels of the bigger picture. So, for example, if to try to go for the smaller chart on a bit smaller level trade. So I would, of course, from here, I would more expecting it to go and create, go down and create another bottom here, right? Or trying to break it or something. Breaking this channel, right? So a possible either go down or go up. Okay, so that's the possibilities I would be looking at Australian dollar. Okay, but just again, needs to be a bit careful, because it's a very important area where you see if, for example, you will get in some not good trade, right? So because it's been going down for a while, and here is the main area, it can go up again, right? And go up and up and up, and it might take a while again before it will try to come back here. So as I'm just saying, if you're not trading with stops, if you're trading without stops, okay? So that's why probably here it's better to, for now, to trade with stops, just to avoid the big run, because it can run away quite far. Just like I was warning around these areas, when it gets to very important levels of the bigger charts, you have to be really careful, because it can run away, right? So that's why I think it's better to trade with stops in that respect. But it depends how big the account you have and what type of strategy you use, but just warning that we are in an important area again. Okay, so well, that's it. That's my view on Australian dollar. Okay, dollar CAD, and that's what I'm trying to tell you as the pound dollar looking like, right? Remember, we had this really wide and nice channel, okay, so which I was waiting for breakout, which I did have a bit of the trade here on the buy trade and the sell trade. Is that exactly what happened? You see, it went up and broke, it moved, but then see, it came back down and broke that and came back again. So that's afterwards I said I couldn't trade really. So I didn't look at it anymore, but now I'm looking at it, and you see what happens. You see it try to break up again, break down and come back. So it's a bit messy. That's what I call it. It's a lot of mess. And that's why I don't like such wide channels. It's a 4-hour chart. You see, for me, that's why I don't really like when such big consolidations happening in such wide channels. It's a little bit dangerous to trade if you're trading on smaller charts. Okay, so like I'm saying, depends how big your account and how you trade the strategy. But in this moment, again, for dollar CAD, I would probably now would rather to wait a little bit. I mean, again, it can make a big move at any time, at any moment. Again, if there will be some news. And expecting, but again, you see from here that's what I'm telling you, you never know which way it will go. Okay, so you see it started to break up, and you would expect, okay, it's broken, it's going up, and then it should get to the next level. And if you didn't close your position, right, if you didn't take some profit, then it turned around, and you know, it could go more down. Okay, it came back, but it's still not going up at this moment, right? I mean, it might continue, but at the same time it continue to go way down. That's why I'm saying in when it's that wide, it's also quite hard to trade. So you see, at this moment, it's pretty much, I don't see anything right here what it could be, which way possible. It's above the level, okay, so but it's been below it, and well, okay, from here, like I'm saying, if it will go up, I would expect it, well, possibly continue to the next level, or if it will go down to the next level. So that's why I would probably maybe just avoid it for now, and wait for a little bit more clarity to go to one or another levels. Okay, but let's just quick again check a smaller chart and see what could be done. I mean, if you using like that's movement is, you see, it's about 100 pips movement. That's what I'm saying. It's a really big movements, and on a smaller chart in here, I would possibly like a bit riskier, right? Just wait for any consolidation. I mean, it's already looking like a little pennant, okay, on the smaller chart. If they open in the market, if it's not going to move too much, if it will give a bit of the pennant, then yes, possible. It might go back down again, stopped inside this channel, maybe go down a little bit. At the same time, then maybe it will be a breaking point and try to go up again. And so for taking small profits, it could possibly be just protect yourself, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Could possibly just look at this, okay? So then see, and then you never know where it's going to stop. As you see before, to see maybe it could be stopped again in the same area as here, maybe slightly higher. The same is here, maybe lower than that if it will go down, or maybe higher. So that's what I'm saying. Kind of just protect yourself if you'll try to get into this smaller trade. Okay, so and then of course again somewhere in the middle try, and next level would be again really important level, okay, and all the other levels down staying the same. So that's how I look at dollar CAD. So a little bit messy right now in the market, I would say, in my understanding. So sometimes maybe it's better, you know, to avoid these times anyway when it's not really clear. So, but this is how I prefer. So, like I'm saying, whatever you decide to do. Okay, so now Euro Pound, just like I was saying, also expected, right? The movements between the levels. This, you see this little red levels and this thick level. Exactly is what's happening. It sits between these levels. Okay, so that kind of area, and but that's what I was saying. I wouldn't personally go for trades for now, but as a possibility, what I would look, we see here when it was slowing down, that could have been possibly a trade, okay, for sale, but like you see, it's very close to this level. It's broke at this time, and a bit of consolidation here. And at the same time, you see, could have just continued the way up, but decided not to at this point. So in here, what as a possibility, it started to create. You see, like a little correction. Maybe it will be like a bearish flag. You see, if it will break it, maybe it will continue the way down. Okay, so I would, you know, I wouldn't do personally. I would just wait for it to go, like I'm saying, a little bit better to this level or to that, more important levels, and then see if there is anything will be created and try to get into the trade. But if you were thinking to, then I would be looking at that area. Okay, so if it will move a little bit more, then I would expect then possibly reaching this level, maybe to see that level again as a buy, okay, but very small, just like I'm saying, go for the smaller profit, okay, protect yourself, go for the smaller profit just in case it will not reach this level, okay, or move the stops in safer positions, okay, and using this level, like I'm saying, depends how far it will go, and then just you can draw it further and use that level as a sell, okay. But once again, do not forget that the higher it goes, it would be better, because sometimes the market can stop at the previous bottom, right? So if it's right here, you just see how far it is. You see it's about 29 pips. So like I'm usually doing 20 pips, and then at least to get 10 pips. It's not big enough, but just like I'm saying, if you're watching it, then you can just move stop while it's moving your direction, okay? And that's how I would look at it. But I mean, personally, I wouldn't go for it at this moment. But it's creating, you see, it's had a small drop and a little bit of possible like flag, and then maybe it will continue the way down. I mean, it might be a good move down. So like I'm saying, again, don't forget to check the news for euro and pound to see what is going to be there. If there is opportunity, then of course have a look and to see if you can place the trades, and then possibly it could be a good move. But technically, right now, I'm just telling you about the technical view, okay, what to expect, okay. So if you know what to expect in both directions, and using the news happening, then roughly you can expect a good move, okay. So that's what I was expecting from the news, a good move, but you're looking at specific areas. So now we're going to gold, and okay, the bigger picture again for our chart, looking at it, we had a good drop. So this is the slowing down again, remember, as expected. And the entry point would have been exactly where I pointed out before. Remember, I was telling you that for me, that was a bit too much, too wide, and I was waiting for it to go back inside here. And it's pretty much exactly what it did. I mean, of course, that level could have moved a little bit down when it started to consolidate, and you have perfect area. That would have been my perfect area for it. Okay, so and you see a great trade. Okay, so that was really wonderful. And now we're back to the level. Not back. I mean, like for weeks, right? It took us here. Remember, even when we had this wing, I told you the market will come back at one point, even when we were still around this area. So, and now it's consolidating as expectation, because remember also I was pointing out about this bottom, okay, when I told you that market might go and not stop by this but break it a bit, just like it did before. So everything pretty much right. If it's going like I told you, if it will go down, this is what to expect. If it will go up, it would be something different to expect. So it went down as one of the expectation. So what now, right? You're asking what now to do. Well, look at this here. It's created a bit of the head and shoulders, right? Remember? Also, if you were with me, you would have remembered this. I was showing it all. And now, at this point, there is nothing. Okay, so at this moment, it doesn't give me anything, so that's why I personally would just wait for a little bit more information, okay, of for the technically more information what to expect. So of course, what I would think some consolidation would be here again if there will be no major big news or something unexpected. Just if technically smooth news, just a little bit of consolidation. Maybe it will be also like, maybe it will be double bottom, right? Okay, it could be like maybe it will go up a little bit and go down a bit and then create double bottom. Maybe it will give a flag, okay, the bearish flags are something similar to this, okay, so you can say it was kind of flag correction and the flag a bit. And of course it might continue the way down, so it's not exactly might go up again like I did before. Maybe you had enough, you see it's been there twice, maybe it will continue the way down. So like I'm saying, it all depends what's the news going to be. At this moment it gives nothing. So on the bigger charts. And so, well, if we'll go on a smaller chart, what possibly could do, of course, a bit risky. You see, it's given right now a chart, not a chart, the channel. Okay, so it started already create the channel. So, and of course, you can possibly use that channel. Okay, well, I'll have a look too. I don't know if, like I'm saying, if I would be able to trade this week, because I have a lot of things going on right now. I don't have any time to do the proper trading. So, but this is the area what I would look at, okay? Because yeah, like I'm saying, it might go up as well. Again, we need a correction, right? So I didn't have a correction for a while. It might go up, and maybe it will start to see it consolidate between these two levels, right? It doesn't have to be always like it was previously. So, but I still have this important level. So it might be, you see right now it sits underneath it. And so as a possible buy, as a correction, right, to go back into this area. And at the same time, of course, but I'm saying it could be a little bit risky again, don't forget. And here I would use probably stops, right? Because if it will try to run away, then it could be a really good run away. And when it comes back here, like I did previously, it can take ages. So that's why I need to be, again, very careful in this area. So if it will go down, sell, right, to use that channel as a sell, then protect yourself, okay? Just like repeating it all the time, but don't forget, I would definitely protect myself, okay, in this situation right now, because it's not in the middle somewhere. When it's somewhere in the middle, it's okay. You can use trade like without stops. I see it more safer because it's more chances to come back, not waiting for years to come back. But when it goes to ages, then it could be years before it will come back in the same area. So that's why I'm just saying, is there any point to keep such a long trade, or well, try to come out from it, of course, with the less loss. But in this situation right now, you see on the bigger chart, it doesn't give anything right now, right? So there is no clue what it wants to do. Will it create any pattern? At this moment it's not, but on the smaller chart, as you can see in 1 hour chart, there's a possibility is creating a possible consolidation. And of course, if there is any news, then it may be possible to place the orders using that channel. So that I would look at it. Okay, so well, that's it with gold. Now going to pound yen. And pound yen, we had what did we have? Let's just go and see bigger picture. I don't know if I showed, if I draw this using this, right, these two tops and this bottom. So I think I did previously draw this channel, so as a downtrend, right? Okay, so and we dropped here, and well, remember, as I was telling you, expectation of the correction again, you see. So right now it has a bit of the correction, and of course the question how far it will go. But as it's looking right now, it might be again like a little bearish flag, right? So, and possible breaking it to continue the way down. And of course, all of these levels, I would still look at them and use them, okay, just in case. It could be a stop at any of them. Okay, so this it also this bigger. I don't know if in weekly we can see that or not. Not on weekly, it's not really much I would see, but on the daily still also might look like a little bit of head and shoulders. The same, like yeah, that could possibly be a shoulder, and this is double head, and then this is the shoulder, which is also again could be, like I'm saying, it might go a little bit higher and then try to break and possibly go down. Okay, so like, again, depends what the news going to be. So that's how I would look at it. But at the same time, okay, let's just go on a little bit smaller chart. This might not be exactly flag. It might be like a pennant. Okay, so something like this. Okay, which is also, it all depends. Okay, we've opened in the market, if it might be like a buy and draw this, just in case, you know, you would be expecting it. Who knows how you trade? If you, for example, will buy from here and thinking it's to go up to that, and because some people do trade like that, and then expect that as a target, that might not happen. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It might not happen if you're actually waiting from target to go. And if that's a pennant, then you see that's what can happen. It can go from here and be stopped by this level. Okay, so it could be without reaching this. Okay, without even though it might be looking like a shoulder. Okay, so just bear in mind here. So roughly this area, right? It might not. So that's why I'm saying you can use that a little bit higher. I mean, right now I would put it like this, but if it will start to break it, then don't forget. Okay, so as a flag, possible then as here. So that's what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say. So that's why, of course, in this view, it's more looking like it should continue the way down. Okay, so it should go down instead of going up, and there is no easy at this moment good opportunities to get into the buy for me, for example, here. Remember, I've been showing you on pound yen lots of good entry points, and they were all 100% profitable. And I was pointing out where they were very good entries. Right now, I would not say there is a good entry. Okay, so when I see it's good, I tell you. Right now, I don't see it. I can see it's possibly in this pennant, but I have no. It's not very nice in here because of these levels. Okay, you see, that's why I don't feel comfortable with these two levels. That's why I don't want to say if it's a really good or not very good. And you see in this one, actually on the bigger chart, it also can be moved a bit because the wings I'm using right now, as many as possible, so they will touch it. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, possibly go up and then continue. This more looking, right? More looking going down, but you never know. It can go. You can continue, you know, slowly like that, or maybe you can continue go up and go high. So you see, that's the point. If try to get into this trade, right, risky for me. But if it will break it and then go possibly maybe back to this level, that would be a bit more clear to see. Or if it will go up into again somewhere around those levels, then it would be also a little bit more possibly clear to see what to expect. But at this moment, this is what I see with this, and the first thing I see is a possible continue the way down. But like I'm saying again, I wouldn't be so sure. So that's all for now. Okay, so that's all my view on the market for this week. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and happy trading. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye everyone.